This is English shorthand dictation number 257. Dictation speed 140 words per minute. Ready? Start. There are several parliamentary devices for raising matters of public importance. Calling attention is one of these devices. Under this procedural device, a member has to take prior permission of the Speaker to call the attention of a minister to any matter of urgent public importance, and the minister may make a brief statement thereon. There shall be no debate on such a statement at the time it is made. After the statement, brief clarifications can be sought from the minister by the member who has initiated the calling attention, and other members whose names appear in the list of business are called by the Speaker. Only those matters which are primarily the concern of the Union government can be raised through a calling attention notice. The calling attention procedure is an Indian innovation which combines asking a question with supplementary questions and making brief comments. The government also gets adequate opportunity to state its case. The calling attention matter is not subject to the vote of the House. The next parliamentary device is motion. The term motion in parliamentary parlance means any formal proposal made to the House by a member for the purpose of eliciting a decision of the House. It is phrased in such a way that, if adopted, it will purport to express the judgment or will of the House. Any matter of importance can be the subject matter of a motion. The mover of a motion frames it in a form in which he or she wishes it ultimately to be passed by the House, and on which a vote of the House can conveniently be taken. Motions may be classified into three broad categories, namely substantive motions, substitute motions, and subsidiary motions. A substantive motion is a self-contained, independent proposal made in reference to a subject which the mover wishes to bring forward. All resolutions, motions for election of the Speaker and Deputy Speaker, and motion of thanks on the address by the President, etc., are examples of substantive motions. A substitute motion is moved in substitution of the original motion for taking into consideration a policy or situation or statement or any other matter. Amendments to substitute motions are not permissible. Subsidiary motions depend upon or relate to other motions or follow up on some proceedings in the House. A subsidiary motion has no meaning by itself and is not capable of stating the decision of the House without reference to the original motion or the proceedings of the House. Adjournment motion is the procedure for adjournment of the business of the House for the purpose of discussing a definite matter of urgent public importance, which can be moved with the consent of the Speaker. The adjournment motion, if admitted, leads to setting aside of the normal business of the House for discussing the matter mentioned in the motion. An adjournment motion must raise a matter of sufficient public importance to warrant interruption of normal business of the House, and the question of public importance is decided on merit in each individual case. The purpose of an adjournment motion is to take the government to task for a recent act of omission or commission having serious consequences. Its adoption is regarded as a sort of censure of the government. The government must always enjoy majority support in the popular House to remain in power. If need be, it has to demonstrate its strength on the floor of the House by moving a motion of confidence and winning the confidence of the House. In view of the constitutional provision regarding collective responsibility of the Council of Ministers to the Lok Sabha, a motion expressing want of confidence in an individual minister is out of order. Under the rules, only a motion expressing want of confidence in the Council of Ministers as a body is admissible. Rule 198 of the Rules of Procedure and Conduct of Business in Lok Sabha lays down the procedure for moving a motion of no confidence in the Council of Ministers. A motion of no confidence need not set out any grounds on which it is based. Even when grounds are mentioned in the notice and read out in the House, they do not form part of the no confidence motion. There is another parliamentary device called discussion under Rule 193. It does not involve a formal motion before the House. Hence, no voting can take place after discussion on matters under this rule. The member who gives notice may make a short statement, and such of the members as have previously intimated to the Speaker may be permitted to take part in the discussion. The member who raises the discussion has no right of reply. At the end of the discussion, the minister concerned gives a brief reply. In order to provide opportunities to members to discuss matters of urgent public importance, a convention was established in March 1953, which was incorporated later into the Rules of Procedure and Conduct of Business in Lok Sabha under Rule 193 as short duration discussion. Under this rule, members can raise discussion for short durations without a formal motion or vote thereon. Matters which are not points of order can be raised by way of special mentions under Rule 377. This procedural device, framed in 1954, provides opportunity to the members to raise matters of general public interest. At present, the number of matters that can be raised by members under Rule 377 on a single day is 20. One of the most important parliamentary devices is the 0 hour. The time immediately following the question hour and laying of papers and before any listed business is taken up in the House has come to be popularly known as the 0 hour. As it starts around 12 noon, this period is termed as 0 hour. For raising matters during the 0 hour in Lok Sabha, members give notice every day to the Speaker stating clearly the subject which they consider to be important and wish to raise in the House. It is for the Speaker to allow or not to allow for raising such matters in the House. The term 0 hour is not formally recognized in our parliamentary procedure. At present, 20 matters per day, as per their priority in the ballot, are allowed to be raised during 0 hour. The order in which the matters will be raised is decided by the Speaker at his or her discretion. In the first phase, 5 matters of urgent national and international importance, as decided by the Chair, are taken up after question hour and laying of papers, etc. In the second phase, the remaining admitted matters of urgent public importance are taken up after 6 p.m. or at the end of the regular business of the House. However, since there is no provision in the rules regarding 0 hour, hence there is no maximum limit on the number of matters that can be raised on any given day. A resolution is a formal expression of the sense, will or action of the legislative body. Resolutions may be broadly divided into 3 categories. In the first category, there are resolutions which are expression of opinion by the House. Since the purpose of such a resolution is merely to obtain an expression of opinion of the House, the government is not bound to give effect to the opinions expressed in these resolutions. In the second category, there are resolutions which have statutory effect. The notice of a statutory resolution is given in pursuance of a provision in the Constitution or an Act of Parliament. Such a resolution, if adopted, is binding on the government and has the force of law. In the third category, there are resolutions which the House passes in the matter of control over its own proceedings. It has the force of law and its validity cannot be challenged in any court of law. The House, by such a resolution, evolves its own procedure to meet a situation not specifically provided for in the rules. A point of order relates to the interpretation or enforcement of the rules of procedure and conduct of business in the House or Convention or such articles of the Constitution as regulate the business of the House and raises a question which is within the cognizance of the Speaker.